I'd like to call the Proctor City Council meeting for Monday, November 21st, 2022 to order. Could you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll perform roll call at this time. Councilor Benson?
Present.
Councilor Reuter?
Present.
Councilor Johnson?
Present.
Councilor DeWall?
Present.
Mayor Ward's also present. Please let the minutes reflect all others in attendance. Attorney Bray is joining us via telephone this evening. Looking for a motion to approve the City Council meeting minutes from Monday, November 7th, 2022.
So moved.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Before making that motion, I would like to remove 5A, Resolution 43-22, canvassing election results. We did pass that at our canvassing meeting on November 15th of this year, so we could remove 5A. Other than that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda with those changes. I'll make that motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. At this time, we'll take comments and suggestions from the citizens present. The public comment and suggestion period of the meeting is when the City Council offers a time for everyone in attendance or watching from home to address the City Council. Once we move on from the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, members of the public will no longer be allowed to address the council unless the mayor acknowledges you. As a general rule, the council will listen to all comments but will not comment on or respond to any comments made by speakers. The council will not engage in dialogue. However, any council member can ask questions. If you'd like to address the City Council during the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting, please come forward to the podium or dial 218-628-6289. Before you begin, please state your name and address for the meeting minutes. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the City Council will be prohibited from using obscene, profane, or threatening language or boisterous conduct that disrupts the meeting or the security of the public. Is there anyone at this time that is interested in participating in the public comment and suggestion period of the meeting? Please dial 218-628-6289, and we'll give that a minute. Hearing none, we'll move on. Looking for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
So moved.
Councilor Johnson made the motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to 3A, Clerk Advises Council, FEMA National Flood Insurance Program. Administrator Rich.
Thank you, Mayor. We were notified earlier this month that FEMA is updating our floodplain maps. And this is, the maps are in your packet as well, but I just thought I'd show you a side-by-side. The one on the left is our old floodplain map, and the one on the right is our new preliminary proposed. This is a really important map to review. The last time this map was changed was in 1989, and hopefully as technology changes and becomes more available, they have water levels that they can update these maps more often. But this could be, if it goes like it has in the past, once in a 30-year lifetime chance to look at our maps and give some input to them. I just thought I would highlight a few changes, significant changes that I see from these maps. This block right here had significant floodplain identified it in the original map, and over here, this block has been eliminated. So that is good news for the homeowners on that block. I think there's a couple that may be affected by that. Other than that, this is, may have been expanded just a little bit more to go across the road, but I don't know that it affects any homes necessarily. This is where our fire hall is. That is all pretty much the same. The other significant area, and I'm going to zoom in on this, is our city hall is now out of floodplain. So this is this area right down here. And that is due to, it doesn't say that it's not going to flood, it's just that it's out of that flood hazard area, and that was due to fill. There's two ways to get something out of floodplain. One is to do a letter of map amendment, and the other is they do surveys and they show that it is up and now out of the flood elevation. But if you can see before, our city hall, I'm sorry, was right here. And all of this is now out. And this leg that comes here as well is out of the floodplain. All of it is pretty much the same. But I just really encourage you, if you want to come and take a look at the maps, maybe there's some specific properties that you had in mind. SEH had some really good input on other communities who have gone through this. If you want to look at the map and look at floodplain areas, if you want, we have time to comment, and maybe there's of a particular area that's being identified as flood, and it hasn't, you were around for the last flood, and there was not high water in that area due to different reasons. But it's a great opportunity for us to get a more accurate picture of our flood zones, which saves our homeowners flood insurance if they have been removed out of the floodplain. So we have a 30-day review of this, and then after that they will hold public information meetings for the public to come look at these as well. Any comments on that? No?
Does council have any questions regarding the FEMA floodplain? Hearing none, we'll move on to 3B, 2023 budget. Is that Finance Director Brunfeld?
Nope, I can take that.
Okay.
You have in your budget packets the preliminary budget numbers. We need to approve our budget at the truth and, well, we have our truth and taxation meeting is at the next council meeting, and then the budget needs to be approved by the next council meeting. You can approve it next council meeting, or you can wait for the second one in December. But if you want to take a look at those numbers, forward any questions that you have to Leslie. If you have any questions tonight, she's here to answer those.
Thank you. Does council have any questions for Administrator Rich or Finance Director Brunfeld? Hearing none, we'll move on, and if anyone does come up with questions in the future, please forward them on to either one. Thank you, Leslie. Oh, Councilor Benson.
Is there anything thank you, Mr. Mayor, is there anything in the proposed budget that you want to specifically draw our attention to?
I guess what I would like is to know what you'd like presented at the truth and taxation meeting. So you approved a 7% increase on the levy. But we may not need that much. That's the maximum that we can do. And so do we want to show a lower amount at the truth and taxation meeting, or would you like the 7% shown at the truth and taxation meeting?
Leslie, at that meeting, could you present, just like you have here, where you give a couple different numbers? You gave a 4%, a 5.1, and a 7?
Yeah.
Or are you looking to just narrow it down at one number tonight?
That's for your decision.
I guess I personally would like to see the three options that you have on here to give us kind of an idea of what, you know, going 4% brings us, going 5.1 and 7. Because then we can really sit down and look at this budget for a few more weeks anyway and get a better understanding. But I don't know, does council have any opinion on that?
I'd kind of like to see a 6.
On that breakdown sheet?
Yeah, can you do that? 4.1?
You could go 5, 6, and 7 and see what that looks like. Councilor Dwell?
We're kind of leaning towards 5.1, right?
That's my suggestion.
No. Oh, were you done?
I was done with you, not her.
Okay. The 5.1, does that give us enough leeway in case, you know, boilers break, which they shouldn't now, we got that fixed, but we kind of ran into an issue this year. Would a 5.5 be better planning on the city side, or 5.1 do you think suffices?
The 5.1 doesn't give that kind of room for something something outside the plan.
That's why I was headed, Mr. Mayor, with do the 5.1, 6, and 7. I don't think there's any reason to do a 4.
Right,
Okay.
right.
If that helps narrow
That
it
does help.
somewhat down.
Yeah. Council all right with those three numbers? Okay. And Councilor Benson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One of the things we haven't talked about is a legislative agenda, and if there is an effort to pursue some additional funding, perhaps money towards what we want to do with the street garage, other things that come up, is there room within the budget to make adjustments? Of course, depending on how much.
Well, once we finalize the levy, we can't change that. I'm not sure what you're asking.
But budget amendments can happen at any time.
The question is, how much discretionary funding is going to be in the levy and a proposed 5 million?
Right, and that would be not very much at all. So that would be a decision as far as looking at the 3 different levels. Will show how much. I think each percent is about $20,000.
Thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, we'll move on. Thank you. 3C, boiler claim. Administrator Rich.
Thank you, Mayor. So we did receive the forensic report on the electric boiler, and it was determined that it was not due to lack of maintenance. In fact, they said the boiler was very clean and well taken care of, but there was an electrical arc in the furnace that caused the fire. So therefore, we did qualify for some coverage. We didn't have equipment breakdown, but it did. There is actually an electrical arc clause in our insurance that we received a $25,000 claim on it. It doesn't cover the cost, but it was at least something, and we know that it was simply a kind of a freak accident. The new boilers are in, and everything's working just fine.
Thank you. Any questions for Administrator Rich on the boiler claim?
I do have a couple more items, Mayor.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, after the boiler claim.
I got one question. So we still have an outstanding balance, obviously, after that 25,000 comes in. How do we, as a council and a city, want to fund that boiler purchase that we just approved? What is there, about 105,000 or 110,000 outstanding on that? So give it some thought maybe, and we'll have to decide where we want to.
I thought, sorry, Mr. Mayor,
ahead.
if I may, I thought we had some dollars figured that we could use, not for the entire thing, but I'm going to say for
I think
40, 50,000 of it.
I think there's still some funds left in our city hall budget that we could use for it, but that still doesn't get us to a final $0 amount, so we're gonna have to, unless we wanna operate at a deficit, then, which I believe Finance Director Brunfeld said we're capable of doing this year, because we're sitting all right as far as finances. But does council wanna operate at a deficit for this last year of 2022? Those are things we'll have to decide on at some point.
And we can wait for that as we do some more budget analysis before the end of the year, too.
Okay.
And maybe that's something that we can address when Finance Director Brunfeld presents her transfers and kind of her cleanups at the end of the year.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, you had some options of ways to pay for it when that proposal came before us. So if we can go back and look at that too, there may be some other funding options available that we can use. So, okay, that's all I have. Does council have any other questions? Hearing none, Administrator Rich.
Yeah, so just to give you a heads up that we are working on a second design information meeting for 2nd Street, 3rd and 9th. As the design has come along, there's been some changes. We'd like to have some community input. So we have that meeting scheduled for December 8th. The first part of the meeting is going to be kind of a presentation of where we're at with design. And then we're hoping to carve out a half an hour at the end where the individual citizens can sit down with the engineer and talk about there's some particular driveway approaches and some items that the engineer would like to sit down with homeowners on 2nd Street. We can structure that as a council meeting and post it if you all would like to come. Or the 2nd Street committee members can come. There's a couple of you that were on the committee. Or we could just present it as a public information meeting. It's not a hearing, it's just to keep them in the loop of what's happening with the design.
What time's that at?
It's at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6.
It's 5 to 6, and then hopefully maybe some time afterwards with the homeowners.
And right here?
Yes.
I think I'd like to attend it. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but I don't know what the rest of the council feels. If everyone is wanting to attend that meeting, then we'd have to post it.
It's a Thursday. Maybe what we'll do is we'll post it just so we're covered. So should more than three or more of you come, we've got our bases covered.
And I'm looking at my calendar, and I will not be able to make it. So I'm out.
And then I had sent you all an update that I presented our Playground for Everybody shortage to the Reed Foundation last week, and the foundation has agreed to commit up to $15,678 to fund the gap in the Playground for Everybody. They're going to be, their next Read by Candlelight fundraiser is going to be specifically marketed towards Playground for Everybody. So they did say up to $15,678. So I'm still going to be looking for alternative sources of funding to do that. But it was a very generous commitment from the foundation, and hope that we can all attend the Read by Candlelight fundraiser.
Thank you. Any questions regarding that? I guess, like to thank the Reed members as well. That's nice and very much appreciated. Administrator Rich.
And then my final item is I did attend a Cirrus Housing Support Summit information meeting that Cirrus and the Duluth Airport Authority and the Duluth Chamber of Commerce organized. It consisted of community leaders in surrounding about 30 miles radius of Cirrus, and their employees their company is facing a huge challenge of finding housing for their employees. So they sat down with community leaders to try to first figure out what's going on in our communities and then talk about their needs. So there'll be a series of more meetings, and I'll be sharing that information with PETA and council as it comes by. But it was a very interesting meeting, and they're looking to add, I believe the number was 170 more jobs in the next year. So it'll only compound their problem for finding housing of all kinds, not just affordable housing, but single-family housing, condos, apartments. It's a shortage all around.
Cool, thank you. Any questions for Administrator Rich on that meeting? Hearing none, we'll move on. Do you have anything else, Administrator Rich?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That will bring us to 5B, Resolution 44-22, Gambling Permit. In your packet is Resolution Number 44-22, Resolution of Non-Objection to Issuance of State of Minnesota Charitable Gambling License. This is to permit the Lake Superior Chapter Muskies, Inc. to conduct a raffle on March 11th, 2023 at the Moose Lodge in Proctor, Minnesota. Is there a motion to approve?
I'd make a motion to adopt Resolution 44-22.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Benson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Oppose? Motion passes. That will bring us to 5C, Sand Salt Pay Estimate Number 4. This is for the Vite Company for the salt sand facility, and I believe the dollar amount was $34,503.82 for payment number 4. Is there a motion to approve? I'll make the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Brings us to 5D, sand salt price escalation change orders number 4 and 5. Again, in your packet were some change orders for the same project, the sand salt facility. Pay estimate number 4 looks like it's for asphalt inflation and the amount of $4,375. Is there a motion to approve pay estimate number 4 to Vite?
So moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Counselor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. And again, change order number 5 from SEH to Vite. This is in the amount of $8,300, and it looks like it is to, they're requesting this change to capture cost due to inflation for labor, equipment, and trucking on the sand salt job. Is there a motion to approve pay estimate or change order number 5? I'll make that motion if there's a second. Second by Counselor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. That'll bring us to 6A and B. Looking for a motion to go into closed session for economic development data under Minnesota State Statute 13D05 Subdivision 3C and attorney-client privileges under Minnesota State Statute 13D05 Subdivision 3B. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Counselor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second by Counselor DeWall. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Please shut off your mics. resume the regular city council meeting. Brings us to members' concerns. Councilor Benson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate the winners of the city council.
Your mic,
meeting.
your mic.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to congratulate the winners of the city council and the voters. Government works best sometimes when everybody participates, so congratulations to all, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Thank you, Councilor Benson, and congratulations to you and Councilor Johnson as well. Councilor DeWall.
Kind of took the wind out of my sail. I was going to congratulate the same, so I'll say ditto on that, and then just wish everyone from the community here, city staff, employees, happy Thanksgiving.
All right, again, thank you, Councilor DeWall. Councilor Johnson. Thank you, Councilor Johnson. Councilor Reuter.
Ditto to all that.
All right, thank you, Councilor Reuter. I got a few things, just a reminder again, we'll keep pushing the button until the December 12th, but the Mayor for Day essay contest is open until December 12th, so if you're interested, get your essays in. I attended the Medevac bingo when was it? Last Tuesday? Last Thursday, yeah. Fun event, good turnout, and had a great time. Bingo boards were rigged in my favor, but that's all right. Truth and Taxation meeting coming up December 5th at 6:05 right here, right before our next city council meeting, so remember to attend that. I did have Administrator Rich send council members an email regarding the I-35 corridor study. There is a survey, if you could all participate in that. I know Councilor Reuter already has. And congratulations, Councilor Johnson, Councilor Benson, on your re-election bids. It's exciting to continue working with all of you, so thank you for that. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Happy and safe Thanksgiving. So enjoy the holiday coming up this week. That's all I have. Attorney Bray.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Thank you, Attorney. Administrator Rich. Thank you. That'll bring us for bills for approval. Looking for a motion to approve the bills in the amount of $143,162.15.
So moved.
Councilor Reuter made the motion. Is there a second? Second. Second by Councilor Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Councilor DeWall made the motion. Is there a second? I'll second that. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.